and field events are the oldest organised sports. The first recognised athletic meetings were the Olympian Games, started by the Greeks in 776 BC. The main event was the pentathlon, which comprised discus and javelin throwing, foot racing, broad jumping and wrestling. The Olympian Games were later abolished by the Romans and didn't reappear until the 12th century in England. Track and field gradually became a favourite English sport. Today, before every athletic meeting, the arena is crowded with people jogging and stretching. This is the warm-up, a process of carefully preparing the appropriate muscle groups so the athletes can perform to the peak of their abilities and avoid muscle strain injuries.
Warming up is very important. It gets more important the older an athlete gets. Young children can often run flat out really without a warm-up. It's almost a natural thing. But as the muscles start to develop, the complexities of the body become a bit more of a factor. And
Peter Fortune is sprint coordinator with the Victorian Institute of Sport and was Australian team coach at the Atlanta Olympics.
Warm-up is vital. The muscles do perform better when they are warm. So you do a variety of techniques to get yourself ready without destroying your energy. You do a lot of things to get yourself well warmed up so the muscles can fire very quickly. We've done our jog and we've done our stretch. So the next phase we usually do for a sprinter is to do drills. And the first drill is a high knee lift drill, which really works the hip flexor muscles, which are these muscles around the mid trunk here. Trying to get his knee above 90 degrees, keeping the foot dorsiflexed, that's plantar flexed, dorsiflexed. Sprinters try to stay dorsiflexed, which pre-tenses this muscle here, which gives them the ankle drive when they're going to sprint. So we'll start with a fairly slow one, and it'll speed it up as it goes through. Notice he keeps his arms as close as possible as a sprinting action. Knees coming beyond 90 degrees, feet held up, coming up under his buttock, trunk stable, stomach pulled in, feet dorsiflexed, skipping off the foot, nice and dynamic. Second drill, same as the first one, only done without the skip and a faster pace, getting closer to the sprinting action. It's exaggerated sprint action basically, trying to bring the foot up over the knee and under the buttock. This is the one that really gets you ready to sprint fast because you're pre-tensing muscles and really trying to work very quickly. So you're really trying to fire the hamstring and calf muscles as you would ready to start a race. It's a mixture of some straight leg work and then a very fast pickup, which practices the recovery action of the stride.
The purpose of the drills is to train the athlete's muscles and mind for the best running technique. The key points are to run tall with the body slightly angled forward. Athletes shouldn't be concerned about vertical lift. They need it to enhance horizontal drive and maintain stride length. As it touches the ground, the angle between the landing leg and the following leg should be small rather than large. The landing foot should strike the ground as close under the body's centre of gravity as possible. If the foot lands ahead of the centre of gravity, It blocks forward momentum. By landing under the centre of gravity, it generates high negative foot speed. Sprinting is all about applying large amounts of force over as short a time as possible. The most crucial part of the sprint is the start.
Set. Setting up blocks is an individual thing, but there are some ground rules that you can use. And a good ground rule is to set the front block 2 of your feet lengths from the starting line and the rear block approximately another of your feet back. That's a very good average position for most people. You notice with the blocks, the angles of the blocks are slightly different. The front block is usually a fair bit at a much more shallow angle than the rear block. The front block you do need to apply drive over a longer period, so you need more foot contact with the track at a more horizontal level. The rear block provides a support base for the rear foot, which actually provides a large amount of force over a very quick period of time. If we move into the on the marks position, the athlete takes their time through this process. It's very important to be very balanced through this whole process. Carefully placing your feet well against the block so you're getting a very good application. Fingers well spread out, up on the fingers, shoulders directly above the hands, head at the appropriate angle, just looking pretty well straight down at the track. Your weight is fairly evenly balanced between the whole body, so you shouldn't feel too stressed. As we come up to set, notice the shoulders don't move forward, the hips just raise straight up. You blank everything else out of your mind except the sound of the gun, and you go immediately upon you hear any sound at all. When you're coming out of the blocks, you're trying to stay fairly low, you're not trying to come up too quickly.
A common fault, even among promising athletes, is to waste effort on excessive lateral drive. Drive should always be in a straight line, down the track.
We're now doing mid-race. David's up to speed, his eyes are ahead, he's running down the track, he's concentrating as much as he can on relaxation, his knee lift, his drive from the ankles. He's going down the track, trying to keep his leg speed as fast as possible without straining too much.
At full run, the athlete is running tall with a high knee lift, feet extended for maximum thrust from ankles, and feet landing right under the athlete's centre of gravity. Middle distance runners have a different running style from sprinters. The knee lift is much less pronounced, the stride is shorter, and the forward lean is less extreme. Just as there's a different technique for distance runners, there are also differences between the athletes.
Well, it's physiological by and large. The long distance athlete has a much different metabolism, much different heart-lung capacity. Their bodies are suited to running long distances at quite a fast pace. They're usually a more relaxed mover, although not always. The long distance runner has predominantly slow twitch muscle fibres. It's sorted out at an early age. You're born that way, you evolve that way, and it's very easy to pick the sprinter and the distance runner.
Competitors in the longer middle distance runs need to regulate their speed carefully in order to avoid premature exhaustion. For tactical reasons, some middle distance runners change their speed several times during a race, while generally it's more efficient to maintain an even pace.
Hurdling's great fun. I think it's far more exciting than just being a runner, and a lot of people who only run hundreds or run 400s would get a lot more challenge and probably have a lot more fun if they added the hurdles in.
Kathy Lee is hurdles coordinator with the Victorian Institute of Sport.
A good hurdler has to be very courageous and brave. They can't be somebody who's afraid of hurdles. They have to be somebody who's prepared to get out and give it a go. Hurdling is a skill, like many other events, and when people can't do something, they're usually a little bit nervous about doing it. If you start with the drills, the walking drills and the stepping over drills, start at a height that's appropriate for the athletes and gradually and progressively build as their skills build, then their confidence will build. And people who initially thought they might not be able to do hurdles can do hurdles.
Because it combines speed, jumping and potentially harmful equipment, there are some safety guidelines that must be followed. In training, the hurdles must be set at an appropriate height and distance for the individual and checked for splinters, exposed metal, etc. Never turn hurdles around so the support leg faces away from the athlete. This can cause serious injury. Also, make sure the track is clear before starting to hurdle. Movement on the track can be distracting, and with hurdles, distractions can be dangerous. After appropriate warm-ups to prepare the muscles, athletes usually do a series of drills, breaking the event down into small components. This helps to develop technique and style. First, the spider drill. The hurdles are set about one step apart.
Nice and tall. Remember to keep nice and tall. And remember to keep your momentum going. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
The aim is to keep the body upright and facing forward, with the legs moving from the hips. Remember to set the hurdles at an appropriate height for the athlete.
That's good, that's good. Try not to let those hips rock too much from side to side. Try it again. That was good though. Hurdling essentially has two components, a lead leg and a trail leg. The lead leg is the first leg to go over the hurdle. The second leg is called the trail leg. So we break the drills down and concentrate on the correct lead leg action. Okay, lead leg drill, Enfa. Quick pick up, quick push down. Good, that's good. Remember to lift up and over the top of it.
In 110-metre hurdles, the athlete always leads with the same leg. So this second drill, the lead leg drill, aims to develop speed in the lead leg. As the athletes improve, the height and distance between hurdles can be increased. The third drill is the trail leg drill. The trail leg must clear the hurdle at a right angle to the body, with the foot dorsoflexed, not pointed. Once again, the pace of the training should build up from walking over the hurdles, through skipping, to finally running.
Put the two together and you have the whole action. Compact leg, compact trail, good. Okay, other leg now. You're a 400-metre hurdler. You've got to use the other leg.
400-metre hurdlers need to be able to lead with either leg.
Knee up, trail knee up, trail knee up, trail knee up. Okay, what I might get you to do is just to step over here and I'm going to grab your leg. So lead leg up and over, trail leg, there to there. Try it with the other leg, opposite leg. Again, yeah? Yeah, from here, but I'm going to grab your other leg this time. So that one, yep. Fold tight, knee up. Okay, show me again, that one. Fold tight, knee up. Okay, you're still losing your knee, let me grab it. Lead over. Pick it up, tight, 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 pull, 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 there. Okay, and again. Pull, 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 there. Okay, try the other side. Which leg? That one. Pick it up, pull through, and again, that time you let your foot come away from your body. Keep your foot in tight. In tight, that's it, much better. Even if the person isn't going to go on to be a hurdler, they're very good for strength and flexibility. So people who are going to be long jumpers or sprinters or football players or tennis players, doing some hurdle drills, particularly spider drills, are very good for increasing strength and improving flexibility, no matter what event or sport you do. Height helps, particularly with the men. The men's hurdles are very high, so you have to be tall as a hurdler. The women's hurdles, though, are much, much lower, and one of the fastest women hurdlers in the world is only 5'3", so girls can be much, much shorter in the hurdles. That's for the sprint hurdles. for the long hurdles, which is 400 metres. Again, height helps because you've got a nice long stride, but you don't have to be tall to be a good long hurdler. You just have to be a nice, relaxed, smooth runner.
Hurdling action must be tight and clean. Excess movements or flailing limbs will throw the athlete off balance and slow down the performance. Good hurdling form requires leaning forward and clearing each barrier smoothly without breaking the rhythm of the running stride. The lead leg is folded, then extended over the hurdle. Once clear, it's brought down to the track sharply. The trailing leg clears the hurdle at a right angle to the body with the knee held high. The foot dorsoflexed and brought through and down quickly to maintain speed between hurdles. Running speed, flexibility and excellent coordination are all important requirements for hurdling. Race walking is all about endurance, not just in meeting the physical demands of an event that may take a couple of hours to complete, but in being able to maintain a strict technical style from start to finish.
The sport is governed by two rules. One rule is that the leg must be straight when it makes contact with the ground. It must stay in the straight position until it passes the vertical position underneath the body, and the back foot can't leave the ground until the front foot has made contact with the ground.
Harry Summers is Walks Coordinator with the Victorian Institute of Sport. Identifying potential race walkers is quite simple. Just take a normal walk and add some extra impetus.
What I want you to do is to just walk normally, just a normal street walk, as fast as you can until you get to the white line across the track. At that stage you'll be going as fast as you can possibly street walk, then I just want you to bend your arms at 90 degrees. That's the only change I want you to make from walking that fast. Okay, would you try that for me one at a time?
For race walking, it's more important to develop the technical skill than to have an exceptional physique or ability.
Anybody can become a race walker. The sport of race walking hasn't got any demands for size or shape, and it's just a matter of hard work and training. You try that now, Kimberly, please. So I haven't found anybody that I haven't been able to coach to get some enjoyment out of the sport. Now that's all you need to do to be moving correctly as a race walker. Just by walking as fast as you possibly can and then bending your arms, you are walking in a very good natural race walking style. Now it's important that everything must be relaxed when you're walking. Your shoulders must be nice and relaxed and the arm action nice and comfortable. Most people think that race walking is requires a lot of hip movement. In fact, the efficient race walker that's walking relaxed doesn't have a lot of hip movement out to the sides, just a straight backward and forwards as you would normally walk along the street.
There are two common faults that many newcomers to the sport exhibit.
Most beginners, when they try to go faster, they'll bend forward at the waist. And by bending forward at the waist, the leg hasn't got time to complete its full movement, and it would normally result in a bent knee. The other problem that most young people have is that they get very tense around the shoulders, and their shoulders come up around their ear, and it causes a lot of tension in the upper body and slows them down. The skill that's most important is that everything they do is relaxed. Race walking becomes a long distance event. The distances that we race in the international